welcome to today's discussion, or maybe I can say a very prominent topic about usage of mobile phone by students. And when we are talking about students, well, you and me, when we were young and we were in school, the mobile phone, the existence of mobile phone was nil, and we all depended on our own sheer manual hard work. But now things have changed, and we have digital media, which is very, very useful in a way. But at the same time, we have some downside also. So we will be discussing about the usage and the influence of mobile phone or digital media on students. And in between, we will be also actually asking other opinions about how the people feel about the usage of mobile phone, especially when we talk about students. It is quite a serious topic, because the current students are the future of our nation, of our lives. So let's begin, and we'll find out how the mobile or digital media is useful. So, well, let's discuss a few positive aspects, that is mobile phone actually, or digital learning, we can say, that actually enhance learning, because it's quite a powerful media for learning. And students at a remote area also, they can plan their lesson plans. They can discuss few aspects of the topics, and at the same time they have vast opportunities to learn or find out the in and out of any topic. And when we are talking about this enhancement of learning, it is equally actually helpful to teachers and also to students, because they can make a strategy about the lesson plans. They can, and we talk about how the students will be actually interacting with the teachers. It's like teacher can also come in, and they can also dictate kind of speech to text or text to speech kind of lessons for the student. So it is really, really very, very important and very, very incredibly powerful tool for learning. And when we are talking about this tool, which is digital media, it opens a vast area of knowledge. If anybody, any student wants to learn more on many topics or certain topics, they have vast base where they can do learning, and they can experience learning, and they can also have real-time learning. So it is quite a in kind of thing, and it's quite a powerful tool for learning. And definitely you also agree that that can enhance your learning. Now, not like older days, when we were only have exposure to textbook, exposure to experience. But now students can have exposure to textbook, they have exposure to teachers, the topic, and at the same time they can discuss, they can plan, they can comment, they can take up the viewpoint of other people, because simultaneously they can talk to the teachers, to their students, to the learned people. So it is definitely very interesting aspect of learning and for growing up years. Let's listen to the other comments also by Mr. Chandrakant, what he says about enhancement learning of mobile or digital media.
Friends, mobile phone can be a very good tool for enhancing your knowledge. This device is available all the time with you. You can be traveling, you can be standing, you can be running. This capability of the mobile device is basically having availability 24/7, anytime, anywhere, is a very good thing. It's a fantastic thing for students. They can now use mobile device to gain access to ready-made information, which is available on the various blog, various websites, or in the form of videos. They can actually go to these websites and gain from the experience of other people, and the list can go on and on and on. Therefore, the learning curve using the mobile devices is absolutely very short. the kind of learning they can do it in a classroom, they can actually utilize the mobile and video and a lot of examples. They can learn the things, pick up things very, very fast, extremely fast. And therefore, mobile can be a very good partner in enhancing your knowledge. And therefore, smart students are using mobile devices today for enhancing, for learning, and to quickly grasp things, clarifying their doubts, resolving issues, resolving, very complex theorems. And the best part is that any type of student can gain access or enhance their learning. It is not limited to only science students or computer science students. Even a humanity, arts, culture, all kinds of students who are studying, they can gain access to the thousands and millions of content which is available on the internet using mobile device. And again, I will say, anytime, anywhere, during the any hour of the day, they can actually start learning. And therefore, mobile is a very good tool for enhanced learning experience for the students.
And so we have learned about a few aspects of enhanced learning. Now, when we say that it is definitely a very good tool for learning, I will not actually just ignore the impact of communication through digital media, through mobile learning, because it provides a multiple style of learning. It provides deep engagement of the student. It also provides like enhancement of new words, new languages, approach of students in a different style. So that is also there. And at the same time, it also help students to organize things, to keep everything on a track. So this is a very, very interesting aspect, because you are engaging to a vast collective, actually, students or teachers, collective people listen to their ideas, and in a way learning the styles of communication and how to put forward your ideas, your desires into a kind of certain aspect which is very, very applicable in modern times. So this is something which is a plus point when we talk about digital media, that improve communication, improve the reach of the people, improve the listening power of the people, where you can reach out and listen to the viewpoint of other people sitting at your home. And again, we will take you to the comments of Mr. Chandrakant, what he says about improvement of communication through digital media.
Friends, mobile device is a device which is based on the concept of a communicator. And if you remember, communicator first appeared in the Star Trek series. The whole word communicator is basically a device which is used for communication, enhanced communication. You can be communicating from anywhere with anyone. And therefore, if you are a student and you have access to mobile device, you will never be out of the network. You can actually gain access to your teachers, your peers, your classmates, and you always be connected with them. So you will know exactly what is going on without having to wait for the next day, right? So that is why it's a great communicator. It enhances the communication. But in addition to that, the mobile actually has a lot of apps available today. There are a lot of language learning apps, so smart students are learning the new languages using mobile device, and these languages are not part of their curriculum. They are learning because they have extra time, and they can do it because mobile is available anytime, anywhere. So jolly well learn a new language, and therefore smart students of today are better equipped to enhance the communication, because they will have multiple language knowledge, and they will be able to talk to multiple people irrespective of which country they belong, which language they speak. So that is one thing. And other thing is that because you are able to access different applications, you can probably design a new application. Suppose you pick up the language skill which makes you a good communicator, you can start making an app for the future, for your own business. And therefore, this enhanced communication is also helping the students to become the entrepreneurs of tomorrow. So there are a lot of advantages. There are a lot of pros of having mobile device available with the student. Student can actually leverage this as a good companion, and can leverage the accessibility to various applications, and also stay connected with the school, teachers, and peers.
Well, every good thing has some aspect of a negativity, but when we talk about digital media or influence of mobile learning on student, it also having a drastic, maybe a very far-reaching impact, and that is, we can say, increased distraction, because the kind of when students are glued to the screen for maybe for 8 hours or maybe for 6 hours, because sometimes on television, sometimes on mobile screen, and sometimes they're glued to their computer screen. The impact is far reaching, because there's a destruction which is on the rise, at the same time physical and emotional impact, which is very, very drastic. And they lose concentration because they don't know how to do it, and there's less of physical activity. So again, this is a physical impact which all students are facing at the moment, and the kind of that kills the productivity. That is one major aspect uh, of digital learning, mobile learning, especially in the growing years, because they cannot judge what is the best time, how much time they have to spend on the screen, and that over the period of time they lose interest on physical activity, they lose interest in productivity, because just sitting on in front of the screen and just listening, though they may get some crux of the whole communication, but overall the development is kind of a result into distraction, result into non-productivity, result into emotional and physical downside. So we again listen from Chandrasen what exactly he feel about this increase in distraction on the students when they use digital media more than physical activity.
Friends, the biggest downside of having the mobile device available with the student is the increase in the amount of distraction they can have. Usually, it is expected that the student must be very focused. They must concentrate on the subject. They must learn and concentrate so that they can remember. However, mobile device, since it is providing a lot of good things, but also providing a level of distraction which is quite harmful for students. For instance, there is instant messaging, right? So they are always fine-tuned to receive a message, because they are young. They are not like professionals who have actually been there, done that. Students are still evolving, and therefore they will feel that if there is a message, they have to immediately respond, and their mind will always be looking at the screen, waiting for the next message to arrive. So instant messaging can be very distracting for the student. It will actually over time spoil their mind as well. Then there are multitasking. Today's mobile devices are able to do multitasking. So and students are young, they would like to create different application instances. And when they are using your mobile device, they're actually using two applications at the same time. They will see that, okay, I'm playing a game and I'm also accessing instant messaging. Both the activities going on, and therefore their mind will get so much glued into the multitasking that they will start distracting. Their mind will start getting distracted, and their concentrations level will come down drastically. This has been proven. Then there are other drawbacks also. Gaming. If you get addicted to gaming, and at a very young age, when your age is to basically go out in the field and play games, concentrate on your study, if you have become addicted to the gaming on the mobile screen, it could be very distracting for the mind of the young student, and it could create little bit of damage also. So I think while the mobile device provides so many pros, good things, this is a bad side of mobile device, and it also makes you glued to the device always, and you will not get time to talk to your parents, talk to your friends, even though when you're standing in front of the friends, you will prefer sending a text message to the person who's standing in front of you. And therefore, even for communication, over time, the students will get addicted so much that they will not like to speak much. They will like to send text messages. They will feel more comfortable sending text and receiving text, and that will be very harmful because they will lose out the social angle as well. So distraction will lead to destruction.
Yes, so going forward, it is quite, when we talk about destruction, it is quite problematic for growing children, because that will the impact will be so high. It will not be, we as a parent or we as a teacher will not be able to really cure that after a certain point of time. Now, going forward, this influence of mobile learning or digital media actually give rise to mental health issues, and which are really drastic, because that increase the anxiety, that increase not doing things the way they should be doing in a physical way. You are interacting only through the screen. Maybe you will be interacting with your friends, with your teacher, but you cannot just ignore the benefit of one-to-one personal meeting than a meeting online, because that definitely provides a kind of convenience. But the kind of impact which creates once we meet somebody physically, may be at that those people will be friends or maybe teacher. There are certain parameters of learning. So, when we are talking about digital media learning, especially for children, that will create anxiety, sometimes sleepless nights. You will very well understand that the digital media provides a very creative displays on screen. And children who enjoy the displays, the creativity on the screen, rather than becoming themselves creative. So that is the difference which create or maybe give rise to non-thinking of ideas, non-thinking of creating something by themselves. So they may pass a few sleepless nights because they're already holding a phone on. So that definitely gives a bad impact on the health. At the same time, that gives isolation, because you are always glued to the screen and you enjoy that presence. But when we talk about one-to-one personal meeting, they lack that kind of interest. That is one. Second, they also lack the ability to handle personal meeting. So that is one is on the rise, and that eventually affect the mental health, because the feeling of isolation, the feeling of anxiety, the feeling of things which are not in control, which they cannot really express, because talking to a screen and talking a person, that is definitely a kind of way apart, a difference. There's a lot of difference between these two aspects of learning. Then when we talk about cyberbullying, that is also the case, because there are few information which is being shared by people, and that people can take advantage, not only the students but other people also, while sharing their data, while sharing the information which is personal to the school or personal to the students. Sometimes name and phone numbers, they can be actually utilized, and that actually brings usage of sometimes substance, usage of actually becoming really, really very lonely, and you don't actually extend your connection physically or manually, and there's a gap which actually enhance sometimes societal conditions for people who are always on the screen. So this is something which is quite a alarming situation, especially for students, because there are three things which I would like to discuss. First, it kills the personal connection. Second, it kills the creativity of mind, because watching a creative reel or watching a creative video is entirely different than creating things by yourself, by your mental ability. So that brings anxiety, how to do, when to do, and how to get appreciation. That is again a kind of concern for, especially for students. So this is on the rise, and we have to really look into that. Let's listen to Chandrakant, what he is saying about this.
Friends, we have to be very careful while giving the mobile devices to your children, to especially students, because in the modern world, the usage of mobile device can be misused also by others. For instance, they can actually start doing cyberbullying. So sharing of derogatory messages, then the recipient will get agitated, especially when they are young. They will not know how to handle these derogatory messages, and they get into a spiral of negative thinking. Over time, actually, this will change the personality. So, if there are too many derogatory messages or false news is being exposed on somebody, over time they will start thinking that that is a reality, and the good things they will start losing. So, this will lead to, the cyberbullying will lead to deterioration of the personality of the receiver, which could be a student. There are other mental health issues. For example, if extra usage of mobile, you get addicted, because even while sleeping you don't want to miss out a message. So it's a type of addiction which will start seeping in, start affecting you mentally, and you will always like to sleep with your mobile, because if there is a message at 2 a.m. in the night, you want to reply, you want to read it and then reply immediately. So that is a sign of an addiction. Over time, this habit of uh, addiction, type of an addiction, will actually go overboard and can really harm the personality of the student, especially student, because they are still growing, their personality is forming. And if these kind of negative things are being exposed using mobile, cyberbullying, which will lead to mental health issues, they could be very devastating for the overall life of the student. So these are the very, very dangerous side of mobile devices, and therefore the mobile device has to be handled with caution. There has to be some sort of rule that has to be created, where from this from duration at which parents will give their mobile device to the students, to their own children, that has to be limited. There has to be some other workaround where the good things of mobile device can be used and the bad things should be avoided.
So, well, this is an issue which you and me, both as a parent or as somebody who understand the downside of digital media, especially for children, it is has to be tackled with, you know. So, there has to be some balancing act. And when we talk about balancing act, it is understanding that how this media works for children, how this media, the digital media works for adult people. So sometimes adults also face the same kind of problems what children are facing. But for children, it is alarming because they are into a growing up their years, and they don't understand what is best for their development. So when we are talking about balancing act, we have to certain points we have to look into. Firstly, what are the content the children should be watching? Everything is not for children, because that gives a very adverse effect. And the productive content, the content which gives something learning, something good time spent on the screen, that is one. Second is when there are a combination of physical and on screen timings. There has to be fun outside of the screen. That is very, very important, because that gives an extra development for children to really realize and understand what is best for them. So, and they should understand the meaning between physical and, of course, a digital media. I'm not saying that just ignore the rise of digital media, or understanding or learning of digital media, which is very, very convenient, and it's very, very profound also. But in this same process, we should also, as a parent, we should, or as a teacher, we should understand what has to be seen, what is the content children should see, and what it's restricted. That is one. they should, as a parent, they should also sit along with children, and they should also have a fun along with the child, and they should understand what is the interest of the child, what kind of content he is watching. So that is one thing which is comes into a balancing act. At the same time, be creative and ask children to really understand the validity, the productivity of the whole time which is being spent on the screen. So a child, or for that matter, even adult, cannot just spend 8 hours to 10 hours on the screen. That is quite harmful, not only health wise but also mental health. As we have discussed, it gives a very adverse effect on the development of child, on the mind, and people actually become isolated, as we have discussed earlier. So the other point is that try to make especially student to involve more on physical activities, talk to make physical friends, ask them to come a house, go to their house, and I think you have to balance between the physical contact as well as the digital contact, and where the intelligence, or we can say the remedy of this modern life comes into. Because if a child is glued to 10 hours or 8 hours on the screen only, that's highly, it will impact on the developmental development, and over the period of time the child will be left out from the real physical world. That is will be very, what we say, not a good signal for overall development of the student. So I look forward about this crucial topic, your comments, what you suggest about the rise of education, the rise of education through mobile, through digital media. What remedies you provide for our children, for our young generation, so that they have best of both the world. So with that, with this point, I will end this today's discussion, but I will look forward your comments and your suggestions. So see you again. Till then, bye bye. Take care.